Hi, everyone. Good to see
Hey,
you. Hi, my friend
Ev-
Sean.
Hi, my friend Sherry. How are you?
It's hot. It's really
It is
hot.
toasty.
And I feel bad saying that because I know it's a lot hotter, a lot of other places than the Bay Area. But for us, we're not used to it. So, hi.
Hmm.
We just got finished. We always give our little tiny spiel at the beginning, and let's do it again right now. So, this is the hard stuff is okay. Sean and I am so grateful for this, Sean. I'm so grateful that we do this about once or twice a month, whenever we can. We do a group that's called The Hard Stuff is Okay, and we invite people to come and talk about hard stuff. And you tell the story of how we started it.
Years and years and years ago, um, we Sherry and I both live in the Bay Area and met up for coffee because we're both certified high performance coaches, and so we're part of that community and we're friendly from there. And we're talking about this cool book we were both reading called I did it again. Bittersweet by Susan Cain. Hard Stuff's Okay is our thing. But
Yeah.
in Bittersweet, she talks about how we need joy and sorrow to form melancholy because it's very connective. It's the full human experience. And so Sherry and I were talking about that full human experience as coaches in the coaching community that we're in, and started going live on GrowthDay.com to just talk about the hard stuff with some of our peers and some of the people in that group. And it's been really fun and enlightening. And that, I think I'm always surprised at what comes up from it. And people share some really tough stuff. Like we had one person share something very deeply, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And she basically said it with a smile. And then you could just breaking, she was kind of tearing up a little bit, but and maybe that's where we start, unless there's anything else you want to add. But there's this type of personality as like the eldest sibling, or where you hold a lot of things for other people when things are going sideways, because you're the one that's supposed to be calm and cool in the middle of it. And that is extremely difficult.
Sean, I love that you started that. I wrote this down, when we are the responsible ones, who takes care of us? And that really
Mhm.
struck me because oftentimes, particularly in that group, it is a group of high performers, right? That self-declared high performers, people who would get things done, people who take care of things. But that's a hard identity to carry 24/7, right? And that's
Mhm.
one of the things that I came away with today hosting that group is just feeling so grateful that we've created this tiny little space that people can like set things down for that time that we're together, and not have to
Mhm.
be, I think people sometimes when we start to have that identity, it's hard to ever set it down.
Mhm. And you feel like you can't, because you'll let people down if you do,
Yeah.
and I think in that particular group there's people such big hearts, and you'll hold so much more than you could by yourself if it's for somebody else. At least I
Right.
feel that way. And so you can hold a lot more, but if you don't direct it into connecting in community, or all the different tools that we shared, which I thought were very amazing on the call. But if you don't have a way to like move that energy, you just get stuck with this everyone else's, not stuff, but like the weight of it all. And it can be very
Yeah.
suffocating.
And I love that you just brought up the tools. I know we're just kind of hopping around, but I like that part. We don't script these. We just get on after other call and debrief. And one of the things that I wanted to share is I love that kind of naturally happened during the call. I talked
Hmm.
about like something I do, which is a hand on the heart, maybe two hands like this. And I'll just say, "Oh, honey," like just like, "Oh, honey." Um, and just as a way of like acknowledging like this is a hard moment, like, and letting myself breathe through it. And then someone else shared, which I had forgotten about. I remember learning this somewhere, but like a
Hmm.
cross like this, like a butterfly, and then pat pat pat, alternating hands, which is very comforting. So
Hmm.
very comforting. Was there one other that I forget those were the two I'm thinking of.
I think those were the two that we
Yeah.
talked about. But yeah, I think like any type of a like body grounding practice kind of fits into that. I feel like this is a very grounding thing. I've done this Andrew Haberman, maybe it's in it, the Haberman Lab, like non deep restorative sleep. I always get the acronym messed up, but it's a meditation which you do deep breathing exercises, then shift your focus throughout your body, starting with your feet. And so
Oh.
you could do it in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or I think he's got like an hour long one where it's like a guided meditation. But it's very like and he's using neuroscience to quiet down the brain
Oh.
through that. So I like that one particularly for my practice. And I've had to use it a lot this year with stuff going on with my family. But like, you know, yeah, I think those types of things. I think the release meditation that we talk about could
Yeah.
be something.
Yeah. I agree with that too. And I think before all those things happen, one of the most important things is taking that pause, right? Like I think in personal development, coaching, pause is so important. Like just to take the pause to say, like, what's happening with me? What do I need? Like really just giving ourselves rather than just kind of like, like someone was talking today, actually several people, right? There's things to do. I got to get going. I got to get going. But that's kind of like elbowing out the person who's having a hard time. And inevitably, I don't believe that that's ever really going to serve us, to just try to elbow that person out. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a flat tire, you don't hit the gas because you need to get to your destination quicker. That causes other bad things to happen,
Sean, you're a master. I love that. You can always come up with a perfect metaphor in just the right one. That was great. I love that. I love that. And we were saying this in the group because just earlier today, I did a live conversation with Dana, who is an improv teacher. And so Sean already knows this, but I'm just going to repeat this because it really struck me. We were talking about how we can use improv tools to navigate. In our case, we were talking about grief, but it can be anything that's hard. And really, it's that basic thing of this is the scene. Whatever's going on right now is the scene. And how can I say yes to this scene? Even if it's not what I wish it were, even if I wish something else were going on. But I love the improv, yes, and so yes, this person has died that I just wish that they hadn't. Like and everything in me doesn't want this to be the case. Yes, and how do I in this moment say yes to the part of me that needs to step into that scene? And how do I support that person in creating whatever's next?
Yeah, I love that. And my experience with improv is it's these little nudges to kind of shift the scene.
Ooh.
So it's like, yes, I am dealing with my friend passing. That is terrible. Yes, and now I'm gonna go and get into the community with the memorial and the funeral. And yes,
Yes.
and now I'm gonna connect with some new people that knew my friend, and so like if you didn't, yes, if you just stayed at home in this example, right? There's no shifting the scene to move it forward.
Oh, Sean, I love that. And Sean knows this. I recently did travel unexpectedly to a funeral, and Sean was asking me before we went live, like, oh, how was that? And I was saying, well, yeah, it was really hard. And I was so glad I went. And you're exactly right. Like, why was I glad I went? Because it's so connecting to be with other people who are, in this case, like going through the same kind of hard time, missing the same person or loving the same person that we're loving. And as you and I often talk about, and as Susan Cain talks about in her book, it's so connecting, right? And that connection, like you said, had I chosen to stay home, which is a lot of money unexpectedly at the last minute in a long trip, worth every penny and every moment, right? But had I opted to stay home, there wouldn't have been that and part. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything else from today that jumped out at you?
Um, I think too, like, I noticed the community. We had a couple of regulars come on, a couple of new faces, which is always wonderful.
Yeah.
But like, we have like an inside joke of like, how long ago did we start this? It's like 150 million years ago. Which, people that have been there like started to chuckle this time around with it,
Right,
because we,
right.
we call it out. And some of the new people are now in on the joke, which is fun. But like the ability to like just connect, and people are making jokes about listening to particular people that have rough, kind of manly voices that would tell them to like shape up or and get out, help them move forward,
Right.
and we're all joking and laughing. Oh, people are sharing some serious things, and it's not that that takes away from the seriousness of it, but it allows, I think, they say laughter is the best medicine. And like,
Yeah.
again, I think it's proof of it. I felt like two people in particular, I saw their energies shift towards the end of the
Yes.
call because we were cracking jokes about, the hard stuff,
Sean, I love that. I'm so glad that you brought that in because it's like, to me, all of that, like way more than anything we say or any tools that get offered or any coaching that might happen, it's really simply the showing up together, right? From the moment that I arrive in that group, first of all, seeing you, like I just feel different. I feel better. It's the comfort, it's a friend, it's you. I have such good positive connotations with you. I don't think we can underestimate at all the power of that. And it's
hmm
easy to forget, like when I'm in my room by myself feeling sad or hard or whatever, it's easy to forget that simply hearing someone's voice, you know, can be the first step to changing the whole day.
hmm and sometimes the only thing you have is that small first step. Someone
Yeah.
in the group mentioned that they were really struggling, getting out of bed and like, were they going to go to our call today or not? And that, like, it's very it's a very small act to just turn on a computer and show up, but it's so profound in that. Yes, and like that particular person was like, yes, I'm feeling this way and I'm going to try something
Yes.
like low lift different that I hope, eh, eh, you know turn things around a little bit more for her than that initial effort. It's one of those leverage points, I think.
Yes. Oh, I love that, Sean. We have in my spiritual practice, we do a recording and listening practice. So oftentimes, like if I'm feeling like if I'm having a hard time or a good time, it doesn't really matter. I'll turn on the recorder as a way of connecting with myself. And my teacher will often say it's simply reaching for the recorder that the self-care
Mhm.
starts, right? So it doesn't really
Mhm.
matter. It's the same thing. It's like it's great whatever gets said or what happens, but it's the reaching for it. It's like you said, it's the turning on the computer and saying, this group is meeting. I'm going to see if I can just get myself there, right? Sometimes, and I think a lot of people, this is a common one for people, it's like, can I get myself to step outside and just take a walk for this one block, right? And just
Mhm.
see if I can hear a bird sing, like that small, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And there's that book a while back. It's just like, make your bed right when you get up if you're feeling
Oh,
depressed, you
yeah. Right.
know? And it's just like you did something. Like you matter to the world. The world is now different right off the first thing when you do when you wake up. And like sometimes that's all you need to get into momentum, is
I,
that.
yesterday I was having a really, really hard morning. And my son texted me, number one, get dressed. Number two, eat breakfast. And then number three was something I kind of needed to do, right? Like that. It's like he already knew that I needed to do it. But he was like, one, two, three. And he's like, if you get these three things done today, awesome. And I can't even tell you, like getting dressed, I felt so like energized. Like I was like, check that off. Like sometimes that's the way it is, right? Like
Yep.
it's, I've heard people talk about like that with a shower. Like I took a shower, man. That was sometimes that's how it is.
Yeah. We take the wins, big
Yeah.
or small. But like we're laughing about it, but it really can change your whole day or your whole week just because you put on some clothes or you put on your favorite hat or
Exactly.
you connected with your favorite people, you
Yes.
know?
I have a dear friend who's also been going through a really hard time for a long time, both of us. And we send each other audio notes. And sometimes we send each other 15 audio notes a day. And I'm not exaggerating, right? Like sometimes maybe even 20. And we'll often say, like, I don't have anything to say, but I just want to say I love you. Or, I don't have anything to say, but I'm here for you. And it's everything. I just left him one, right before I got on this series of calls. And I just said, you don't know. Well, he does know because I tell him all the time. But I was like, how much it helps to hear your voice, right? To just hear the
Mhm.
voice of someone we love. And we don't have to, we don't have to know what to say. We don't have to ask for anything. Sometimes it's just that. Like we know we're not alone.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going to glance down at my notes and see. You see if there's anything else for you that you wanted to. Oh, you haven't said your thing. I'm not going to get off the call until you say what you always say.
Well, we contain multitudes, right? I was gonna say that you can be you can need to get stuff done and also yes then and also feel like you're struggling, and those are not two separate people. It's the same person, that same tension inside of you, and it's these little movements of being in front of people, of sharing your thoughts, of doing the small act of resistance in spite of everything going on.
Yeah.
Um, that doesn't have to be, you're not solving world hunger. You're just putting socks on and going
Yeah.
outside for a minute. And like, it's okay. You know, I mean, we can have all of those multitudes and so many more because we're people,
Yeah.
and we're more than, and we're never alone. That was, I was going to say that too, is like, I think that there's like a theme of this group that we've run for these last 10 years. It's that we're never really alone. There's always somebody out there. If it's us, if it's your other people in your life who
Yeah.
will just sit and listen and share a moment with you. And yes, and the moment,
Yeah.
and point out the multitudes because we all contain multitudes. We're here for it.
I just love that you pointed that out. Like I hope that us talking about this does feel like that for people, for someone who might just be scrolling around and feel like hearing us talk makes them feel less alone. I mean, I always hope that that's the case. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Um, we contain multitudes. I love that. I'm so comforted every time you say it. And I think there is something, it's just bringing up one last thing for me, and maybe you have something else last too, but it's like the importance of ritual. So again, you just made that joke about us. I never get tired of it because it's our joke, right? It's like our little, whether anybody
Hmm.
else likes it or doesn't like it, it's a ritual that connects us. And I think every now it's become a ritual that I want you to say, we contain multitudes every time because that comforts me. When I was with my mom, we had a candle lighting ritual every morning to honor, people who have passed away. And it's rituals are really important, I think, anytime, but especially when we're going through a hard time. Like, so maybe that's the last thing is what rituals can we create with people that we love or just by ourselves?
Yeah, I think. Oh, I love that. It's very insightful. Because I think too, when you're going through stuff, the last thing you want to do is like sit and think about what to do.
Right.
And I think that's what those rituals kind of do. Like, this is what I always do. I'm in autopilot that helps me start the day, or like I have this ritual to honor this feeling
Yeah.
that I'm having, or this person that I you know miss, and like that's part of the processing, and you're not thinking about it. That's
Yes. Thank you for adding to that. Like that kind of just dropped in. But I'm taking that in now too for myself. Like, yeah, how important those rituals are. Yeah. Oh, Sean, thank you so much. I always feel uplifted after this, no matter what's been going on. Thank you.
Me too. It's been hot. I didn't want to show up today, but we're here. I'm trying not to sweat so much until the camera gets turned off. So thank you, Sherry, as always, for the energy.
Thank you, Sean. And thank you, anybody listening now or later. Hope that you'll give yourself lots of grace and be really kind to yourself. Bye-bye. Bye, Sean.